sorry, I didn't mean to bump you. Hello there, and welcome once again to K.I.S.S Cooking. This is episode 6. My name is Peter Brown, and I'm going to be your cook today. Today we are doing an old classic dessert that started in the 50s called Cherries Jubilee. It's a fabulous dessert. It sounds really fancy. It looks difficult, but it couldn't be simpler. What makes Cherries Jubilee so dramatic, especially when you're having company, is you can take it to the table and you can flame it. And we're going to do that. That's why we have the fire extinguishers ready. Whenever you do anything flame, you should always have your fire extinguishers at hand, just in case. Okay, well, let's get started. You can use any kind of cherries you want. You can use frozen cherries, you can use canned cherries, you can use fresh cherries. It's just best not to have any pits in your cherries. So I am just carefully putting some cherries into a nice frying pan. You can use a saucepan or anything else. I'm going to throw this away. Okay, you can use any kind of cherries you want. This is such a simple recipe because all we're really going to do is heat this up. To the cherries, we are just going to add a little bit of sugar, about a half a cup. We're going to add about a tablespoon of zest of a lime. The zest is just the outside part. You want to just use a grater and just grate off a little bit of the outside part. You don't want to get the white. You don't want to get the white stuff that's on the inside. You just want to just get the colored from the outside. Then we're going to put in just a squeeze of lemon juice into this pan. Yeah, I think that's probably enough for now. And then you need about a cup of liquid, and you can use any kind of liquid you want. You can use water, which is the simplest. I like to use pomegranate juice. You can also use orange juice, lemonade, anything you want. Add just about a cup. And we fire up the stove. Did I tell you, and I don't think I did, that we're at the kitchen of Evelyn and Robert Keller in Oakland, California? They are graciously allowing us to film a couple episodes here at their beautiful house and their wonderful kitchen. All we're really going to do with the Cherry Jubilee is just stir that together and bring it to a boil. You can use just about any kind of alcohol you want to do the flambe. You can use brandy, you can use cognac, you can use K.I.S.S, which is a brandy made from cherries. It doesn't really matter whatever you have. Some alcohols, though, are better than others as far as lighting, so you might want to try it before you try to impress your boss or something. But most alcohols were light. One of the keys to it is making sure that the alcohol is warm. You can put it in a jar in the microwave for 15 or 20 seconds, or you can just heat it up or put it onto a hot liquid like we're going to do today. And hopefully we'll get a nice flambe for you. So this is coming to a boil now. So simple. All you really have to do is heat it. If you're doing fresh cherries, you need to cook it a little bit to soften them up. But if you're using frozen or canned cherries, you just need to bring this to a boil to meld all the flavors together. And then we're going to thicken it using cornstarch. We mix about a tablespoon of cornstarch with a tablespoon of water. And you just stir it up, make a nice little emulsion there, and when it's boiling, which it almost is, you just pour the cornstarch into the mixture, bring it back up to a boil, and as we do, the cornstarch will do its magic work. If you do this in a frying pan, when we do the flambe, you'll get a much nicer effect. But if you can cook the same thing and do it in a saucepan, it's just not quite as dramatic. But you can see this is enough to serve 4 to 6, even 8 people. You don't need very much. Just a nice spoonful. So when you look at this here, it's just about done. We just want to thicken it just a little bit more. In the meantime, I'm going to get out my brandy. I think this will be enough. Really, you just need, if you look at recipes, they'll be anywhere from a couple tablespoons to a cup and a half, depending on whose recipe you look for. But I think we're just going to put in just a little bit. All right, this is boiling now. It's gotten nice and thickened. You can make it thicker if you want, or thinner. It really doesn't matter. You can also add any kind of other spices you want. You can do anything you want with this. Before we flame it, though, I want to taste it. Voila, that's very good. Okay, now we are going to just put on a little bit of brandy, and we're just going to float it on the top here. Just a little bit of brandy. And now we're going to flame it. Isn't that a nice flame? And look, if you go like that, sometimes you can get nice strings. Boy, I hope you see that. Look how nice that is. And the heat. Now, don't get too close. I used to have hair on my hands, and not anymore. Been doing too much flambe that get out of control. But I'm glad we have the fire extinguishers because I feel much safer. And that's it. Now, the other thing that's great about this dessert is up until the flambe part, you can cook it up and you can put it into the refrigerator until dessert. So you can cook it a day or two ahead of time if you want, and just heat it up on the stove, flambe it, and serve it at the last minute. All right, so now we're going to get ourselves a bowl of ice cream, which we haven't prepared. Evelyn! Okay, so we are just going to put a few scoops of ice cream into a nice decorative bowl, and 1 or even 2 spoonfuls of juice and cherries on top of that, and you have an absolutely spectacular dessert. And excuse me just a minute, but I'm going to taste it. My goodness, that is absolutely fantastic. Well, I guess that's it today for episode 6 of K.I.S.S Cooking. I want to thank everyone for being so supportive, and thank you for your emails and your suggestions. Remember, if you want to have your kitchen featured on K.I.S S Cooking, send us an email. You can go to www.efamilycookbook.com. And also, if you'd like a free subscription to eFamily Cookbook, just send us an email as well, and we'll get you all set up. All right, and before we sign off, I finally want to introduce you to the director of K.I.S S Cooking, the famous Robert Keller. All right, thanks, Robert. Thanks for all your hard work directing, and goodness knows I need a lot of direction. All right, well, this is Peter Brown signing off. K.I.S S Cooking. Thank you, and keep it sumptuously simple.